That's better, sorry. Now you can hear me. I do apologize. I've accidentally muted my microphone. So, hello and welcome. I'm just gonna do the intro again, why not? Today we're gonna play with lights. Awesome lights. Well, Zigbee lights, it's not that awesome. Now you should be able to hear me, right? If someone can confirm, that's fine. Great, awesome. So, it's gonna be, I've reviewed Shelly recently, Shelly Duo, and one of the things that made me feel a bit jealous is that they have a night mode. And night mode is a special setting that applies, well, at night, and limits the brightness of the light bulb. You can override this, but by default, if you, for example, like go 1 o'clock and, I don't know, go to a fridge to steal some cakes, you're not going to get blind, basically, because when you turn your lights on, whether via voice command or using a switch, depending how you got your setup connected, let's say it's going to set the brightness to 30% automatically, and then in the morning it will return to 100% brightness, so you could enjoy actually, being in a bright environment. So this is something I wanted to take a little bit further, because having this automatically applied, it's great, and obviously, why not? But there's going to be circumstances when you want to override this. So, for example, if there is a party and you carry on through the night, etc., or when you are fully awake and it's 1 o'clock and you're not scared of dim light, and in fact the dim light's going to annoy you, then you would like to put the lights as soon as possible to 100% brightness. And we're going to look into automatically increase the brightness over time. So if you leave the lights on for long enough, they're gonna be increasing the brightness. So for example, if you just make yourself a tea, then the lights would go, for example, let's say 30% to 100% within the next 2 or 3 minutes. So this is something we're going to try to recreate from scratch, and I'll be explaining everything. So expect chaos, expect mistakes, and hopefully expect to learn a couple of things as well. So hello to everyone who's watching. Hello Alexei, and hello Edward, and Chumaro, I guess Chumaro, maybe Humaro, I don't know, but hello to you. I've got coffee, so it keeps me awake. And without further ado, let's change a screen, and I'll show you what we're playing with. So we have lights. Let me present with your lights. So we have, in this case, this is IKEA, and I've choose this one because I have 2 buttons, but I'll show you how to resolve this if you only have 1 button as well. So we're gonna do this, and this is a Zigbee light. It's obviously LED light, and we're gonna connect them, and we're gonna be using these as an example. So that's the plan for today, guys. So this is a NodeRED. I've not done anything, just basic, oops, it blinked at me, I don't know why. But it's just the basics, so you can see this is working just fine. I can turn it on and off. And in here, the brightness set to 215 right now. Maximum is 255. So obviously we want to get the maximum brightness at let's say, I don't know, maybe 50. We'll experiment. We'll set it to 50, or maybe make it dynamic and figure out what kind of controls we want to make. So I'm gonna try to make it as universal as well, because I promised that we want. I want this to apply to a single button and to buttons that have 2 buttons. Obviously, this IKEA button has also brightness, so you could resolve this by clicking and holding until the brightness is increased to satisfactory level. But I'll show you hopefully a couple of tricks that we can use to make it a tiny bit smarter. Greetings from Scarborough. Hey, it's just around the corner. Greetings from Teesside, John. How are you doing? So let's first connect 2 things. So these are my controls. Obviously, we can connect bulb and we can connect button together. So let's quickly do that. So this is my smart bulb in here, and what we need to do is get set, and we need to connect it with a button. And if you click on the button, you'll see that we have action on. Now this button particular has on action, has off action, has brightness up, and brightness down. And I think we have a double. No, we don't have a double. So that's those are the buttons that we have. So let's break down the actions so we could quickly use them for controlling. And greetings, Alexei from North London. Okay, so first we need to split the command, so let's gonna quickly copy our path, and we want to change this path, and just in case. So we know we're gonna have a message payload. So this is a message payload action, and we're gonna be setting this as a message payload. Actually, no, we're not going to do it. Should I go with... No, we're gonna do it for the functional. Sorry, it's gonna be easier. So this is my button. Let me just prepare everything. So this is my button in here. We're gonna grab, and first we're gonna save ourselves some details, because we're gonna need to have the details of this bulb. So the easiest way to do it is actually to get the change node. We can put the change node in here, and we can set our message payload, our flow, and we call it uninventive bulb, and we're gonna set this to message payload. Okay, great. That should be the bulb, sorry. Wrong thing. I just want to get a state from the bulb, and that's gonna be from get. This is where we're getting our information about the bulb from. Now, if the bulb changes the state, I'll have information stored as my context, and I'll be able to access it at any time. Probably want to do that if you, because I already know how I can approach this, so that's why I'm doing it. So let's quickly toggle it. So let's, what do we have? This is state, sorry. Inject, a refresh. Set get, and first problem, why did I have an empty payload in here? Did I inject correctly? Yes, I inject the correct thing. State, that's like, yeah. Well, what just happened here? Let's try again. Okay, let's turn it off. I'm not getting any feedback right now. What did I've missed something simple right now. So this is, okay, I've submitted the empty one. I've submitted the empty one, and I get, oh, was it a state in here? I think this is how it's supposed to be. Still no? You see, this is where I say I don't have enough coffee today. Obviously, I didn't link to what I wanted to connect in here, and now I'm complaining that it's not working. It's going to be an interesting one. It's been a long day at work, to be honest, so you have to forgive me. And we need to... did we submit it? Set, submit, it's fine. We're still not getting information here. Set to payload, yes. Oh god. Okay, let's see if I am getting any feedback right now, because something's not working correctly, and I'm not sure why. Let's detach this, and again, let's turn it off. I'm not the feedback. Nothing here. Something. I actually tested it just. Oh, now finally we're getting some. Okay, right. Now we can do this. So let's do this. Delete that. And when I'm going to, let's inject my state again, and you'll see I have my bulb in here, and the basic parameters from the bulb are here. Excellent. Right. So we can move on. Hopefully it's going to be much better. But one of the things I wanted to check is actually just a reference for for commands, because it's been a while since I've actually been doing Zigbee stuff, and it's not something I constantly remember. So let's so yeah, I should get that from this topic, get, and I'm not 100% sure I'm not getting the information in here. Okay, I can get that information from the entire tree in here, so let's stick with this, that's fine. Okay, so now that we have this, let's simply do the controls. So controls, we're gonna have switch node, I guess. We want to do it with switch node, or do we? Yeah, let's do it a visual way so you could see what's happening. So in here we're gonna have a message payload dot action, because this is where our command is stored, and we want if this action is on, that's our one button. If this action is off, that's our second button. We're gonna leave the what's it called? The brightness right now we're gonna leave alone. We're gonna assume that we have no brightness control. Obviously, if you have a brightness control, you can use that to increase the brightness. So now let's change this and change the payload to compatible payload. So we're gonna have a payload like this to toggle the light. Oops, here, and change it to JSON. And let's create the same one so that's going to be our on command, and that's going to be our off command, right? And we're going to command our bulb, right? So we have a controls now over the bulb, and let's have a look. Right, off is alright, on is okay. Right, so we have a control now. So if you're gonna walk into a kitchen at 1 o'clock, you're gonna get full brightness and you're gonna hate yourself. So let's do that. All right, son of dual dead. Yeah, another dual is coming soon, so I'll have a second opportunity to kill it. All right, so now that we have the basic controls, we can start to approaching our brightness. Now, this is a bit dumb way of controlling it, because you bind two different buttons, obviously, if you want to do it, but you don't refer to any state. So, for example, if the light bulb is on and I press 1, nothing happens. Like nothing. I can press on and nothing's going to happen. If you want to make it smarter, you would write controls slightly different, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use a function node, and in our function node we're going to get information of the bulb. So a variable bulb is going to be whatever is stored here. So that's our flow get, and we're going to have our bulb, right? So now we know what information currently stored in the bulb. If we press the button, what we want to do, we want to see what is the current state of the button. So, for example, let's say we're gonna let's do that variable action equals message payload dot action, because this is where our command from the button is. So when we press it, it's gonna be stored in our action variable. And now what's gonna happen if action is on? We're gonna do one thing, and if action is off, we're gonna do another thing. All right. Now, that's not going to help us at night right now, but it's going to give us a foundation how we're going to resolve this. Now, if you want a different way of changing the brightness at night and during the day, you would like to wrap all of this in another if condition to check if it's night, do this. If it's not night, do this. So you can either wrap these both two inside the if condition, or you can write the if condition inside here. So it's up to you. It doesn't really matter whether it's gonna feel more comfortable for you. Have you seen adaptive lightning integration? Actually, I haven't, because I don't use Home Assistant. As the only person on the planet that prefer NodeRED over everything, because I'll show you in a second why we're gonna have more fun than people in NodeRED in Home Assistant. So right now I'm gonna be adding it step by step. So let's rewrite the same controls that we did. So we know that our state is currently. So if action is on, let's if we're gonna add another if condition inside. If bulb dot, so we're accessing right now state equals on, it's spelled with a capital. Then we're gonna have a one message payload. Okay, and if our state is off, we're gonna have another message payload in here. We're gonna define the message payload in a second. So okay, so now what happens when I press the button? It will check what is the current state and it will act opposite in opposite way. So in order to change the payload, we have to do state and then value. So in this case, if it's off, then we want on, and if it's on, we want off. Okay, so this is closed, that's fine. Double semicolon. All right, so if I deploy this and disconnect this, if I deploy this and bypass this, it should work just in the same way, but you'll notice that, see, I've pressed one, I'm pressing one only. I can do the same action with one. It checks what is the state of the bulb first, and it does the opposite thing. So right now I release this button, and now I'm still gonna use this button as an off, because in my goal is to also enable the same functionality for buttons that only have a single button to click, so it's gonna be more universal. But I'm doing this way because there's gonna be a couple of if conditions that I want to still introduce. So let's quickly copy this, because it's gonna be exactly the same for our condition, for our off action. So if we press off and the bulb state is on, then we're doing opposite, and we pretty much solved it for both buttons by copy and pasting it. Now the light bulb is off, and I can turn it on with 0 or 1. So press the 0, light bulb go on. Press the 0 again, off. And the same end, press the 1, it goes off, and I can mix and match the conditions. Oh, there's a delay. Can make the delay is going to be caused by how quickly we can get the information via what's it called, Zigbee to update the status here. So now this is working. We can start integrating our time. So you could hard code information about time, but we probably don't want to hard code this. Now, if you want to get information about what time is it right now, is this. So how do we want to control the time? Right now we let's do maybe, because I already I'll show you that I already solved this in here. I have information that basically tells me what time of the day it is, and I can actually check if it's nighttime yet. So let's see if this is working correctly. Yeah, it's day. Technically it's not right now because I didn't set my time zone yet, but I can get information about what time of the day it is as something like that. I have a tutorial about it, so I can actually pull it up. Let's quickly, I'll share this with you. Was it in here? No, it's not this one, sorry. This one. So I'll share this with you guys. And basically that's what it does. It's been rewritten a couple of times, but it's a quite cool stuff if you want to practice your brain thinking a little bit. So now there is a couple of ways we can approach it. We can always get information about the time using date. So we're going to new object, date. That'll give us a new time right now at the time that the bulb is turned on. And we can use this to determine whether we should set the brightness to something powerful or to something not so powerful. So we're gonna need another couple of things. So we're gonna need time when we're gonna start setting this. Later on we can use sunrise and sunset. Right now I'm just going to hard code the values. So let's say var start and var end. So that's going to be our time hours. And we can define what time we want this to start. So I'll set this, let's say, from... it's going to be easy on myself. Let's do 1 AM to 6 AM. So anything in the evening, sorry. So that's going to be our starting times. You can change that later on. I'll show you how. Now, you could use these values and introduce another condition, which would be looking like this, right? If date dot, I need to check actually where's the information stored. JS date. So let's quickly have a look. Now you can get hour using get hours. So that's how you get this. Date.get hours, and that would be your number from was it from 0 or from 1? From 0 to 23, and you could get that number and then do this if it's greater than 1 and small date get hours smaller than I'm doing it as a comment. I'll show you why in a second. Then you would do your brightness here. You could do it this way, but then if you rewrite this, you might want to recheck these conditions as well, because, for example, if I'm gonna set this to 23, suddenly the condition is gonna be slightly off. So there is another thing you can do actually. We're gonna create our night condition. And we're gonna define our night condition here, and that's our night condition, and it's gonna just give us whether it's a day or night, and we're gonna have this function in here. So that's the plan. So do we want now the question is we probably want to be able to do the minutes, and we want to do what's the hours as well. Why this is flicking? Did I not screw that in? It might be just a connection flip. Strange. All right. So where were we? We want to figure out how we want to tackle the time. So the absolutely easiest way is to take a inject node, right, and use at specific time. And we could do it this way, for example. Every day at, let's say, midnight, right? We're gonna set our message. No, we're gonna say, don't want the message, I want, can I? Timestamp. Yeah, okay, yeah. We want this, and this will do. That's one way to approach it. I'll show you. We're not going to use this, but I'll show you anyway. So night time, or maybe not. Is it night? Okay, let's do the night, and we're gonna send it to boolean. So at midnight, our night is true. So now when I deploy it, when I press it, you will not. Yeah, that's fine. I can ignore this. You will notice that in here we have a new variable. and this is night, and it's true right now because I said it's true. Obviously this will deploy itself at specific time, and that specific time is going to tell you that it's true. So now we could simply get that variable here. So we could say, this is gonna be temporary solution. So variable night equals flow.get. We are getting night, and when you have your check, right? So before we're gonna start sending any commands, so that would be here. If it's nighttime, so where is it? Night equals true. Then we're gonna do the same as here, but we're going to include brightness. We'll do like this, so it would be nicer. Brightness, and we did 50, right? Well, let's say we're gonna do 50. So now, if the night is true, we're gonna set 50. Otherwise, we're gonna say the brightness to 55. There we have it, and then we need to be in. Okay, so now this will work. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this. I could toggle it, and I'll prove it to you that this approach would work. So that's going to be set to false. Deploy, and we still need to fix our function node. What we have here, not defined. So let's put it to 0. Everything is valid. Yes, that should work. Okay, so let's take a quick look. So now we have a very simple way, hard-coded way of doing this. So when I press 1, it's going to obviously turn off, right? Now when I press, now let's disable the night. So you'll see night is false. So when I turn it on, I'm using 1 because 0 isn't mapped yet to this change. But when I press 1, it will give me a full brightness. Right, so let's disable it again, and now let's set this to night. Night is true. You'll see the brightness. Oh, the brightness didn't change. What did I misspell that? Because it should say 255, I guess. Let's see if it changes. It is darker. It is darker right now. But let's see if maybe I just didn't reset. The brightness here is not changing. Let's investigate why, because that should, in theory, change the brightness as well. And I don't like the fact that it's not updating. So, did I misspell that? No, I didn't misspell that, did I? No. Okay. Let's double check if we're getting correct parameters in here, just to make sure. And yeah, I get the brightness parameter in here. So why it's not respecting the brightness on this bulb? Granted, do I have to provide the whole set? Let's quickly take a look. No. Everything should be alright. I provided state brightness. There's something silly I'm missing. Okay. I don't know if I just deleted it, but I'm just going to quickly redo this. Maybe I just formatted incorrectly. Okay, so if this is true, I need to close my condition. Like this. Okay, so this is and otherwise, okay, maybe that's why. If night equals false. And let's stick this in another condition. I'm gonna put it inside here. Sounds alright. What is the... Okay, we have... This is inside the condition and this shouldn't be here. Okay. Right, I formatted it. So, and just double check on this one. I'm still one semicolon short. Let's okay, so this one should be closing here and it's not closing here. So this one should be closing here. Yeah, okay, that's closing here. And then I'm gonna delete this for a second because it gets me confused. And this one is here and this one is here. Let's just message payloads. If you don't format stuff, you get lost in your own typing. And this one is here. Ah, nice. Now I can see which one's which. This one's conditions is here. And this is if the bulb is off. It's not okay. Now it's all right. Now let's see. Fixed it. Hopefully it's gonna work now. So let's try this with the button again. Okay, this is definitely. I know the cameras. This is the thing. The camera is not going to show you perfectly this, but this is not full brightness because I can see individual things. Can I lock the brightness? I'll try to lock the brightness for you on the camera. Give me 1 second. So configure video. It doesn't give me the configuration, unfortunately. Can't lock the brightness. Interesting. Not on this. Okay, you will have to trust me on the world. So let's check what our flow is saying. You see, brightness still not changing, and I don't understand why. But let's see what's my flow is telling me right now. So let's press the button. So off. Brightness 254, that's correct. So this is the information we should be sending, that's correct. And the state updates, but the brightness doesn't update. Okay. So that's a bit weird. Now if I press it in here, it doesn't like this brightness, I don't know why. This is a bug. This is definitely not something with the flow, because my flow, in a sense, correct information right now. Is it? Let's see. What is our night is all on, true. So we should be sending lower brightness. Are we sending lower brightness? Let's have a look again. 254. No, we're not sending lower brightness. Yes. Yet, because I didn't put it here. Okay. Sorry, brightness night true. This is 50, and this is 255. Sorry. Okay. Now let's do it 5. Why not? Let's go full on. It's correctly formatted. It says a message payload, so it should. So this is night, and let's go for day. Do we have a change? It doesn't say, it doesn't send me a state. Okay, so, and I was clicking on anyway. There is a problem somewhere. Okay, what did we do wrong? Night. If night equals true, then we want dim brightness and state. Ah, oh, I'm silly because the bulb state is not linked. So we need these conditions also to be here instead of that. Okay. Okay, so if the bulb is state, we want state to be on, and in state to be on. Right, okay, done, deploy. This is bright, because the night is false. Yeah, that's correct. I can tell it's bright, I don't know if you can tell it on the camera. Well, now let's switch it back. That's true. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So now you should see this working here as well. So let's have a look. It's off, brightness 50 because the night is on. So when I turn it on, brightness 50. It's all good. So let's turn the night off. Turn it off, and the brightness is 255, and it's definitely 255 in here. Okay. Right. Finally. Okay. But what's worrying me, oh, the brightness updates in here as well. For some reason I didn't update earlier, but it updates right now. What we can do to, what we can also do, we can force the update. So we can do flow dot set, and we're gonna set our bulb in message payload. We can do like this, and that should update our bulb instantly as well. So let's try that out. Right, and done, save. We are on full brightness, yeah. And now we should be on, I didn't, let's do the day, sorry, night. Yeah, it's working and it's updating straight away. Good. Right, next step. So this is hard-coded. Now you could set these values in here to do whatever. So this one would act at midnight, and this one would do at like let's say 7. But obviously, every time you want to set this or change this, you'd have to go into a flow and change this. Now you can. There is a neater way of doing that, which we basically going to check. Check what time it is right now, and compare these values, and then figure out what variable we want to check. So what variable we want to compare it against. So we could do, so we have our date in here, and looking at this here, we can get milliseconds, get time. Could we get from is there a function to get from the midnight? Let's have a look. JS time in milliseconds from midnight. Let's have a look. What's that? Okay. Okay, so we can do this way. Okay, so I think this is the, I can do it as a function. There's a ready answer here, so we can reuse this So what we're gonna have, we have a function. And this function gets milliseconds from midnight, and we need to deliver it a date. So if you want to see how it works, we can just simply do node warning, and that's gonna give us a information. So let's get that tested. Node warning is gonna appear in here. So when I pressed, so this is our number of seconds since midnight, right? And now we can start comparing it. So we know that our time frames gonna be set in seconds from midnight. So right now it's 8 p.m. in here, so roughly 20 hours times 60 times 60, that would be, and times 60 times 60 times 1000, because it's in milliseconds. Excuse me. Okay, so we have a nice little function here that will does that for us. So that will give us a time from in milliseconds from midnight, and we need another thing, another function to get our time in hours, our current time, so our minutes and date, to calculate it to the same form. So let's do this. So this is easy. So we're gonna make another function, and how are we gonna name it? I don't know. In milliseconds, we have it in milliseconds. So milliseconds. Let's call it maybe a timer, schedule. Schedule. Oh no, millisecond calc. That's going to be easier. All right. So our function will have to take our current date. Wrong one. We're going to have this, and so we're going to submit x, which is our current date, and that's going to be a we're still gonna do exactly the same as we did there, which is new date. Then we gonna pass our x, and then we gonna have our time in seconds. Sorry, time in hours and time in minutes. So time in hours, it's get hours, and get minutes. We can do even seconds if you want, but I'm gonna skip this. So, oh, wrong paste. Get hours, minutes. So that's gonna be our minutes. Sorry, hours. Hours, and minutes gonna be the same. E dot get minutes. Okay. Now that we have hours and minutes, what we need to do is milliseconds gonna be 1000. That's our milliseconds, right? And then we're gonna have in here time in hours. So get hours, it's our number of hours times 3060, because this is how many seconds there is, plus minutes, minutes times 60, because this is per minutes, how many seconds we're gonna get, and we're gonna return milliseconds. Cool. So that should work as well. So let's quickly check. Node 1 ms calculus, and we're gonna just submit new date. No, that's gonna be right now. No, I don't want. Is it? Because that's gonna be right now if you're gonna do it. Let's have a look. So when I toggle it, yeah, okay. So it's going to be very similar number in here. That's correct. That was 40, 36, 4 seconds difference. Should be less than 4 seconds difference, really, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Right. So now that we are able to calculate this, we don't need this. We can start creating our night conditions. So we're gonna need the start date and the end date, and now you can start writing this in as a date format, so you can have your time passed. Now it depends really how you want to define your time. So let's say your start would be hours, hour, and let's say, I don't know, 20, and minute. Let's say we're gonna do, I don't know, 33 minutes, because why not? So from that time we would have our night, and then our night would end at, let's say, I don't know, 6 hour 00, right? So to check if we have a correct time right now, this would be our how you do it. Let me just wrap my head around. So if date now, which is date, and date, it's gonna be a function passed as a function, so we could get seconds. So currently we have a that many seconds from midnight, and if this is less number of seconds, then our start date. So start, to do it like this, start and dot hour, and that's going to be our function now, so we can calculate this. So we're gonna have like that. So this is our number of hours plus, I'm gonna decouple this because it's gonna be start in, so you can see it, start in milliseconds. Start in milliseconds is mscalc, and that's night start dot hour. That's our number of seconds, sorry, plus minutes. You know what? I'm gonna do it even easier because we can do it in here. I'm not thinking straight, so I can increase the text. Hold on. A bit better. We can actually, what we can do x, y in here. Now we're going to modify this because that was just for checking. So x gonna be our hours, and that's going to be our minutes. So you're gonna get the two parameters at the same time. So start dot min, is it minutes? Yes, min. So start in milliseconds. It's gonna be this. Yep. And then plus, don't have to do the plus. And then we're gonna do end in seconds, and that's good. It's gonna be end, and it's gonna be end. Okay, so what just happened here? I'm not always great at thinking and saying things out loud, but I'm gonna explain. Right, this function here takes the current time and returns the value in seconds. So this is current time in milliseconds. This function in here calculates the timer in milliseconds from midnight and from midnight. So now we can start comparing this. So if our date, so if our this date, because we already assigned the date, is bigger than a start date, start in seconds, and our current date in milliseconds from midnight is smaller than our end, we are having night. So then our night equals false. True. Okay. Expected, so I didn't close the correctly. No bracket. And this bracket. Okay. And in here, comments. Okay. So this one basically checks the time right now. If it's bigger than the start of our timer and it's smaller than end of our timer, we have night set to true. Otherwise, we're gonna have night set to false, right? So if, let's copy this, false. So if our current time is smaller than time in second, or bigger than end, because we're wrapping from the other side, then we have a, what is it called? Then we have night over. Okay, so that should probably cover it. Okay, and we're gonna update this as well in here. So I'm just going to do flow.set so we could see what happens. Night true. And here false. Okay, done. So now, depending on right now we've hard-coded the values here, we can change it elsewhere. It's okay, we can have a, and don't use extra leading zeros. Okay, sorry. So now I've set the timer to, let's reset the value of our night. So it's right now isn't night, but it's past 8 o'clock, right? It's 8:33 in here. Sorry, 8:16. So let's set it to 80, so it would automatically apply. So if I did everything correct, which I hope I did, Given midnight should be put in a variable to stop calling the function twice, better flowing of code. Yeah, I guess. But let's see if it's working first. I should get night to change to true right now because we're within our time range. So let's hope it will work. Okay. And it didn't. So see what happened. The problem is something silly. I gave two parameters: start hour, start minute, start and hour, start minute. Okay, seconds in here correctly. Let's get the values just to make sure. Node warn. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm getting correct values in here, or it's triggering at all. Okay. Okay, I got in here two. Did I delete the other one? That be called twice. Is that? Yes. It should not be called twice. Why it got called twice? I'm missing something silly. I don't have another one, do I? Let's see. Yeah, I don't have another one. It should just call us once, and I don't know why it didn't. So let's see where I made a mistake, because I clearly did a mistake somewhere. So I'm passing these numbers in here, right? So we have a 20 and we have a 0. So that's going to be 1020 hours. So that's so many seconds plus, in this case, 0. So that's 0. And then our time in calling, you're calling it at the end, at the values changing every time you call it. Let's have a look. You are calling it, the values changing every time you call it. Yes, but the difference in the values is too big. We have like 35 seconds. It didn't last 35 seconds in here. Okay. I'm gonna do this right now. Start and we'll see what we get when this happens. Okay, so those are start and end dates in seconds. Okay, that's fair. So what was our current one? Let's get our current one, just make sure. We're gonna call it in here. Yeah. Just quickly gonna get our this. So now we should have 3 values when we do that. Okay, so we have a lot of values because it was evaluated a couple of times. So our time is bigger than this and it's smaller. Okay, I think I know where's the problem, because we're hitting midnight. That's the problem. So we're starting before midnight, right? So our time is bigger than starting minutes, right? So that condition is true, and it sets the value to 3, blah, blah. That's correct. Now, then we're evaluating this, and probably we shouldn't at this point, so we're gonna do either with a return statement inside. So our time right now would be greater than this is a loop in here, because our start right now is still greater than end time in milliseconds, because it's after midnight. So that's where we have our catch. This is our mistake in here. That's why I don't like dealing with times, because they are annoying. But I found the time. So in here, because our time right now it's 72,000, it's still bigger than 21,000, and that's changes back to. So if we're just gonna meeting this condition, so we can do return in here. And to return here, what we could do, oh god, we're gonna be nesting this again. So if I'm gonna can I do like this? Can I do else if? Can I do else if in JS? Don't remember. You can do just else in here. Oh no, we do have a. Okay, we can do just a space in there. That's fine. Let's try it now. So hopefully it won't execute the second one. But we'll see. And let's check. It did execute the second one. Okay. So we have a problem of midnight. We have a midnight problem in here. So the lazy way of doing it, I'll just copy everything in here and we are sorted. That's the lazy way of doing it. So in here, if I'm gonna copy this entire stuff here with return. Oops, it's way too big. Sorry. So now if I'm gonna do it here, and the same gonna do it here, and get rid of this, it's not going to check the second action, but I have a problem with unmatched. Okay. I didn't copy one of the closing probably statements. This is closed. Else if, let's see if that's gonna close. That's not closing, okay. This one is gonna close. So we need one here. Did I make the same mistake in here? I don't think so. Yeah, we're definitely missing one. Ugh. Now we're gonna be hunting the. Okay, let's stagger them a little bit better and we'll see where I made a mistake. It's just a matter of finding correct. Okay. So this one's correct. This one is correct. This one has enough brackets. This one has enough brackets. This and this, they have correct number of brackets. This one, okay, we have a bracket issue here, I think. No, it starts here, stops here, so I should be like this, and we can collapse it. Now I can collapse this one fine, it's okay. Now this is collapsed fine, and this is returning here, and I should be ending it with this, so that should be correct. Number of brackets. Now correcting brackets in here now. Because everything in here is the same. I can collapse this one fine, and I can collapse this one fine. Okay, so this one is outside else if. So we have no correct amount of like this. Right. Done. Okay, now still have a false, so we still have a problem somewhere. What our log told us. It was telling us it was the day, that's fine, but night is true. Yeah, correct payloads would be applied, but where I'm missing one statement somewhere here. And this one has a return in here. Yes, it does. So it should either do this or this and then return message. And same here. So why didn't return the message? But the once a day. Well, we had the easy option in here, but I wanted to get fancy, and now I'm gonna pay for it. One condition to it. Old-fashioned development. Yes. So it's bigger and it's smaller than here. So that's, it should be returning in here because both are true. If it returns message in here, it doesn't go any further, so it should not change the value. And you should leave that at false because we setting it, sorry, it's true because we're setting it here. So why? And the return, hold on a second. No, return action is inside that if condition. So what is your problem right now? Why it's not changing this? Okay, you know what? Let's do this for now. Just gonna comment this out, and it should definitely should change this now. So let's have a look. Oh, it doesn't at all. Interesting. So okay. So it doesn't actually go inside in here. I might have messed up something. But the value seems to be all right. We are getting values for. Let's do like this. This is start. Plus this is end plus, and this is time now plus. Okay, start, end, and time now. So time now is bigger than start, right? Let's check the zeros. 1, 2, 3. 72 million. 73 million. Yeah, so it's definitely bigger. And this is, yeah, that's fine. So it is within these brackets. What did I miss? Let's check. So get milliseconds from midnight, which okay. I might have a, you know what? No, it's definitely so passing current date, right? And that date is bigger than started milliseconds, which is here. Started with milliseconds is this, so it's bigger. And it's smaller. Ah! This was the problem, guys, because we have it after midnight. So it's actually not smaller, it's actually bigger. So we have to split this into another condition. So what were happening, right? Because our end date, that's after midnight, is bigger still. And that's why we're having a bit of a hard time right now. So how we could bypass this? Okay, we can split it at midnight. So instead of that, we can do our date is smaller than midnight, and midnight is 24 times 3, 0 equals 8,600 for 100. So okay, so this is till midnight. So we have our condition till midnight. Let's write it down. Timer till midnight. Okay. Now, the question is, technically, we're going to run into a problem if you're going to set the time for night to be from like if you're going to set the time for night from let's say 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. Then this is going to break because it's after midnight it's going to just ignore this. Before the midnight it's going to just ignore this. So we have this set. Oh god, did I tell you I hate this? I'm actually tempted just to refer back to what I did earlier because it's going to be easier, and we actually might do that. Why reinvent everything twice? Which we're going to grab this and I'll tell you all about it. We're going to paste it here, and now we're going to get our sun information true, get sun information. Yeah, I've got everything set, so let's deploy this. We're gonna, because I already did that once, right? Specific time, just do it for now manually. Okay, we have our information now. Oh, it should not be the day. I remember there was a problem in here. Midnight equals 00 minus 5 or 00 plus 5. It was the problem that after, if I gonna do it in seconds, then I have on the next day the value is not going to align. And I have it here. I remember there was a small bug in here, and I don't remember which version is it in here, because right now it tells me it is a daytime. I set already my... Ah, there was a problem in here. Okay, so let's quickly fix this. Because because I use the sunset and sunrise for this, and that's why it works, because sunset and sunrise was telling me different things. But then you cannot really define this sunset and sunrise. And in here, I actually escaped the problem because you never have a sunrise before midnight, so I never had to deal with this problem before. It's night was when time now is bigger than sunrise today, and time now was sunset. That's fine. That's just night, and time now sunrise. That's day. It's a day, isn't it? Time now is bigger than sunrise, so this is a day and day. And if time after that's a night, I had a bad paste in here. That's I remember what was. And time now before sunrise, it's night. Okay, so I think I fixed this one as well. Yeah, it is night now right now. Okay, so yeah, I fixed that one. So right, this is half-baked. I'm gonna admit this. This is a half-baked solution right now. Now this is gonna work so much better because in this scenario, because we're gonna set it at specific time, and then we're just gonna push the values, and that's been resolved. And I'm really tempted to actually leave that this way, because we have to set those values somewhere, and yeah, we might as well just set them here. Okay, right. But I promise overrides, right? So right now we already have. So let's fix the iteration for now. I'm going to just comment out stuff I did. I'll be working on this like a little bit more later on. I'll see how to resolve this. Can I have like JS alarm just Jewel med No, I'll Google this later. But okay, so let me just quickly fix this to make sure everything's working. Because we already had this here, so I need to get rid of this. So we're gonna do like this, and I'm gonna close it here. Just like this, and then I just need to remove this, and it starts here. Oops, like this, and remove this and this. Okay, so we're back to this being working as previously. I believe so. Right? Yeah, okay, so we have this working now. So if you want to now have this overridden, what we can create is a small timer that for the first, I don't know, let's say 10 seconds. If within a 10 seconds you press the button again, then it will put the brightness to full of the lamp. After 10 seconds, it will return to normal operation, right? I didn't fix it properly, but that's the plan. If you press the button within the first let's say 5 to 10 seconds again, it will set the full brightness. Otherwise, it will apply the night times or whatever. So that way, if you're walking at 1 a.m. to a kitchen and you press the button, you'll get 50 brightness. But if you press it again, you'll get 100. That's true. Do I have? Let me quickly fix, because I remember I've broken something in here still. That's fine. That's fine. That should be an if. That's not breaking. That's not breaking. I think I remove all of the instances. I remove this. If actions mapped, actions should be, yeah. So I'm just going to delete this completely. So if action on bulb stay equals on, we're gonna do then and night, then we do the night thing. And that's fine. If bulb is stayed off and night through, we do this, and then we're gonna do this. That's fine. And then off wasn't linked. Ah, because we have a doubled here. We shouldn't be using this one at all. Okay. We fixed it. Now we fixed it. Yeah, we fixed it. Did we? Yeah, just a delay. Okay, so now we're gonna do a timer. So if we are pressing this, we already have a date when we're gonna get that pressed. So what we're going to do, that's gonna be our time of our press in milliseconds, right? And we're gonna give ourselves what we did, so 10 seconds. So our 10 seconds timer is gonna be date timer var timer equals date plus 10 seconds, that's that much milliseconds. So this is our time now in milliseconds anyway, so that should work. Node on equals time. So I'm gonna go here, delete this. What did I do? Not more. Ah. Okay. It parsed it, so no, I have to get this in times and milliseconds. I can't be lazy. Why can't I be lazy? So times in milliseconds is, go back. Milliseconds, get time. So I can be lazy. I can't be lazy, you see. Date get time. Now we have a timer. All right. And we can store it as a context. So each time we're going to press the button, we have to check if this time we have, it's smaller than this. So we can do a small function here. So let's store this value as well. So each time we do this, we're gonna do flow dot set and press timer, and we're gonna set it to our timer value. Great. And we need to reset this as well after 10 seconds. And I have an delay. We can do it like this, a lazy one. Delay 10 seconds. Oh, actually, I've got another fixed delay 10 seconds. That's fine. I've got another way we're gonna do this. We're gonna do set message payload. Let's do it instead like this. That's gonna be even cleverer. Flow press timer is false. Boolean is true is false. After 10 seconds is false. And we're gonna copy this, paste it here, set it to true, and we did it. Easy way. There's no need to do the timers. Let's get rid of this here. So what's going to happen? The moment we're going to press the button, we're going to set the press timer to 10 seconds. 10 seconds after, we're going to get that deleted. And if we pressed it in the meantime, now we should just have to link this so it wouldn't every time work. So we need to add new way, because every time we're going to press the button, it will reset our value, and we don't want that to be reset unless we allow for this to happen. So what we're going to do, we're going to add a switch node in here, and we're going to set this one to flow equals reset, and if equals true, no, boolean, where's here, nah, is true. Okay, so when we press this, this is going to be set to true first time, and in here we're going to be setting it to false. So let's go flow. What did I name it as? Resets. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna set it to false, and we're gonna put it here. Okay, that should do it. At least I hope. Hey Paulson, you're not late yet. Okay, so let's go to our here. Let's reset this. When I press the button, we should have some settings. So reset false, night false, reset false. Okay, and after 10 seconds in here delay, press timer false. Let's go and keep waiting. So we need another this one here after 10 seconds, and we're gonna set it to true. Okay, first one won't work because it didn't reset after itself. So you see this one needs to be set to true, which is now. Okay, so now when I press it, it will go here, it will set our press timer to true, and after 10 seconds we'll reset it. So let's do this. Okay, so you see the timer is true, resets false, so if I press it again, nothing's gonna happen. Okay, and after 10 seconds, and can I have like do you have to have a rate limit as well, so it wouldn't duplicate? I think I need to add the rate limit as well. So rate limit, and allow one message per 10 seconds, and drop messages. So we're not going to set another timers here. Yeah, I think, yeah, that should be done. Okay, right. So now to make it visible, we have this already, and we can add our timer. So when our press timer is true, and the bulb state and the action is on, because we're gonna just do it to action on. So we press the action on. The night is true. Oh god, is there a clever way of doing this than nesting it? Can I add it to conditions? Because pulse node, which can reset if another message arrives in the next 10 seconds. Pulse? Do we have a pulse node? Okay, we should have it, so I just need to wrap it in a condition, and I don't want, I like the easiest way is do it here, because we have a bulb state on if night is true, so it's here. If what was the press timer? Timer equals true, right? And we're gonna be overriding this, so let's do this in a second. And because I need to store the press timer value, whoops. Flow get okay, so let's go back. Press timer. So if our press timer was also true when we pressed it on, not here. We want to check if the press timer is here first, and I want to see, this is first check if the night is true. Need to change the order, unfortunately. This is true, and our press, can I just, it's gonna be cleaner, I think it's if I'm gonna do this one like this, and our press timer is true. Then if bulb state is on, then we're gonna be doing message payload brightness 255. Sorry, that's have to be off. Okay, and that's gonna be on. Now, let's close this one. Gonna rewrite the condition slightly and then copy and paste it. Oh. Right. So, if the bulb state is, if the bulb state was on, we just want to off it. Off, and we're not going to change the brightness. Okay, easy peasy. Now, let's wrap this. The night is true and press timer is false. Oh, we don't, sorry, we're not going to turn it off in here. Because we don't want to turn it off, we just want to increase the brightness. Okay, that's fine. And if night is true and press timer is off, then we have an option to turn it off. Yeah, okay. Press timer false, night is true, so brightness is 50. And if the light state, okay, that's how it should be. Okay, so this is where the night is true, right? Now the second condition is when the night is false, so we can delete this. And we do exactly, so when the night is false, the press timer doesn't matter, so we don't use the press timer. Then when the night is false, we're going to check on action that's on, still on action on, right? Yes. So if the night is false, we do the full brightness and we send the payload. We can also update this here, here, and actually, you know what? Okay, leave it at that. And if we have all conditions, night true, night false for on and off. So night false if the bulb state is off, or we're gonna do message payload state is on, brightness maximum, that's great. And if the bulb state is on, and we don't do the brightness. I know I'm gonna delete these ones because I'm gonna corner myself really quickly with something and I know what's gonna happen. So I do the brightness update here and I'm gonna delete one here. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Do I need these ones? I don't think I need these ones. I just need to make sure that the action on wraps both. Okay. That looks a little bit neater. So this is night time. And this is daytime. Okay, right. I think that's it. And this is our action for off, which we right now we're not playing with. So that's fine. So since we're not using any of these, we can actually discard this right now, right? What we're using. So right now we're just going to discard it and discard this. Unmatched, so it still needs that close correctly. Let's see, where did I've unmatched one bracket. So this is correct, this is correct, this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. Here. Okay. Reset, false. Press time at true, reset false, and press time. Okay, I think this works now. So let's give it a go. It's right now, then let's set the night timer because it's working only when it's dark, right? Okay, so we have a night. Well, we have a daytime here. Let's delete it and see. Do I have no information from the smart bulb now? Do I have a return message here? Yes. Why I'm not returning anything on here? Should be returning to this one. Payload. It's not enclosed with anything. Why am I not getting correct message out? Interesting. I've missed something, guys. Something obvious. So yeah, it should be fine. Delay works. This works. That works. That works as well. Why am I not returning any messages in here? Is it not action on? That's correct. Payload action on. Yeah. Night through and press timer. Sorry. I forgot to do one without the press timer on. No, press timer false. That's here. Night through and press timer off. Bulb stay off, on. Let's see. How did I loaded this to a bulb? How did that happen? Small bulb. Where did I've passed my information about the payload to a bulb, and that's what broke it. But how did I end up with this? Here. Okay, because I'm passing it from unknown moron. Should not be doing this. And you're gonna bite me in the ass. Okay, just gonna. So let's manually trigger it. Where is it? Where's my manual trigger? I don't have a manual trigger. Did I delete? No, here. State on. Eject. Okay. Now I have my statuses back. Okay, so let's take a look. So this is a full brightness or not? Let's have a look. In a payload here. Brightness 55. What's our night setting? Night is true. So right now the night didn't apply yet. We've missed something. Okay. Night true and press timer true. Night true and press timer false. Okay, I know what happens. So in here, I think we have to trigger it a little bit later, because here press timer, and we're gonna do like that, and we're gonna do like that. Let's try now. Did I load? I loaded bulb information somewhere again. How did I end it? Let's have a look. Flow reset. Flow. Set flow reset. That's fine. Where did I save the information? Like, I thought I delete everywhere. Let's have a look. Message payload. Message payload. Yeah. What saves the information about the bulb, right? So this one saves only. I don't need this. Oh. What else saves this? There was something passing the information from my button which should not be doing this. Press timer false, so now reset through, night through. So now when I press it once, it'll disable it. Okay, it disables it also on the turn off, which is not ideal. It's something we're gonna have to deal with in a second. Night through, press timer, okay, reset through. So now I should have a lower, yes, okay. So now I have a lower setting, because night applied. So brightness 50, that's fine. And it's 10 seconds past definitely, so I'm gonna just turn it off. I have to wait 10 seconds now, which is not ideal, but we're gonna deal with this in a second. Okay, so now when I turn it off, it's gonna be lower brightness, and then when I click it again, it should be higher brightness. So this is low brightness, and I clicked it again, and nothing happened. Oh god, this is fun. Like, I don't have enough puzzles. Okay, so what happened in here? Let's have a look. Yeah, it saved the button. Where do I? Something saves my button information, and I can't figure out where. This is the only set for the button I have. So it has to happen between here. Do I have like a hidden... Nothing here saves the bulb information. Nothing. So what saved my bulb information into the system? Ah, I know what happens, guys. I figured out. So in here, the message goes to function node and then goes in here. And then in turn, it goes here and gets saved. So I just need to make sure that my message payload gets cleared. Or each time gets set. So yeah. That's what was happening. So... I was pretty sure that there was a status where I just get... I guess they changed the message structure in here. We could get... Yeah. For some reason, this is not reliable for me. It's like, if I'm gonna get here... Do I get this reliably? I get this one from Smart Bulb. So okay, so let's try this one this way. Instead of whatever I'm gonna have here, I'm going to this information gets oh god, this is not fun. So what happens is my button actions are being passed over to my... So there is a condition in here that is not covered, and the message payload... You know what I can do? I can do like this. Message payload equals... And that should prevent from stuff like this happening. So let's have a look. So we're gonna wait 10 seconds, and then we'll try it. Hopefully that will work. Oh god, it's gonna be empty now. No, that's fine. And now it's not turning it on. Why? I give up. Why? What do we have in here? Yeah, it's sending empty payloads. So I actually have a gap in my if conditions which send the empty payload in here. Where is that gap? So if night is true, press timer is true. If night is true and press timer is false. Okay. Like there is no other circumstance in here, right? If night is true, 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 false. And then if night is false, Okay. No, that shouldn't be. I guess it meets this condition, sets the payload to this. It meets this condition, sets the payload to this, which means I have to send it earlier. So return message. That's what I'm going to do. This is difficult at times. Okay. See what happens. True, true, true. Alright, and let's try out. That worked alright. I'll wait 10 seconds for now. And that didn't do anything. I swear to God, I'm gonna build them in a Node context. We have an item, right? Constantly working on an item, so we have a hole in here, and I can't find this hole. Side note about Ender 3. Once you had gone over, forgot one step was to reset the Ender to stock settings after flashing. No, like it depends on the for the Ender 3. The biggest problem with the PID tuning was the thermistor. I had a different thermistor and I had to change this, and that screwed me over because when I was setting PID myself, then the problem with the PID was it was just like this until I changed the thermistor, ran the tuning, and that after that was alright. Okay, I'm missing something in here. I don't know why I'm not getting evaluated correctly. Off, set it to on. On, set it to off. That's correct. And is it going? Okay, let's. No, because it's instant. So if press timer is true, it's off, set it to on. Do I? I think we need one more. No. No, because we don't want to react. So if bulb state is on, then we increase the brightness. Okay, like this. I think that's what was the problem. So this is, I think this is max brightness. Let's wait. I'm gonna turn it off. That's okay. That's worked. It's gonna like wait 10 seconds. Okay, now we're gonna on the second one it doesn't let me. Why? So let's have a look and see what we had in here. The last action was off. Why was off? Why this state? Shouldn't be. So if I press, nothing happens right now. I don't. Why it's off, state off. State should be, is the state not updating correctly right now? Yeah, there's something with the state in here. See, we have a state right now which is shows on. It should not. It's like it's not updating this thing. It's not submitting the payloads. Can I query this? Where let's do something like this, because I think I'm having a big time in here, because I want something like that, and I want a function node in here, and then I want to override my message payload, load, or maybe message. Let's do var message. I don't have to do the. No. And that's payload. And in payload we're gonna have state, and we're just gonna send an empty one, and we're gonna do it like this, and that will trigger each time update, and that update's gonna get posted here. So let's take a look, and I think that's what was bothering me right now. This is not the best light bulb for this. I don't know why, but I don't. Or the Zigbee changed so much since I last worked. Let's have a look. Okay. So the light is on. The brightness, I think it's 100% right now. Let's wait for this to. Okay. So night. It's off. And it didn't update. Oh, state. It's just I can't get information from this light. This is the thing. I can't get information from this light bulb, and that's what constantly screws me over. It's like I'm sending a correct payload, which is incorrect payload. Okay, sorry. No, it was correct. Was it? Yes, it was. Yeah, that's just the definition. Okay. Okay. Let's try now. Okay. So lamp is on. Ten seconds passed. And it's not update. Oh God, this is beyond. So right now I've injected this, right, and my why I can't get information from the light bulb? That's the question. I don't think the light bulb is sending me correct values back, because I should be able to send the state. Hold on, state empty and empty string. I might be messing this up. Sorry, I might be doing it wrong. Okay, maybe that was just me being silly. It's small things. Okay, Should be off. It's not. What do I have in the payload? Which one? It's this one's reporting. This one didn't report anything. I have no reports on this. Right now, even the lowercase would be a problem, but right now the problem is that I don't get as updates. Like, I'm setting message payload, right, to state equals, is it state or status? Hold on. State. So this is my method. I'm just going to get. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I'm setting this to get. So this is my payload, right? Message payload, completely the same, returning message. Good. Send that sending. Sending this to Zigbee, blah, 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 Zigbee to smart bulb, get. Correct? Yes. So then I should get an update from this node with a JSON or object that contains all information about the light bulb. And I can't. I don't know why. Let's investigate it closer. See, this is what I'm sending in here. Exactly what's... Let's paste it. Yeah, exactly the same what the manual instructs me to do, and I'm being screwed over royally by this. To read the state of the device, send the payload, that's to my payload, and we send it to get. So what is... Is there any other topic that reports? I don't know, guys. Something's wrong with my MQTT and Zigbee to MQTT, because that's what I'm doing. I'm getting that information. Like, am I being? I can't get information from my smart bulb, and that should be an important part of what I'm doing right now. I want to get that information and have it available so I could use it, and for some reason, it's not. It's just not sending me that information. Okay, let's do this, just to be on a... No? I can't query my light bulb. It's either a problem with the light bulb, but I can just toggle it. It's like, it works okay. I press it, yeah, it's fine. But I don't get any information on the get, and so when I do this, let's say, was it status or state? I don't remember what was the last time. I cannot check it in a second. No. So state until I still nothing. okay, now I'm getting some... Now I'm getting this information from there. But this is so okay. And this should update, right? So when I press off, then it didn't update. And it didn't update, guys. I don't get it. I'm defeated. Okay, now I might have a loop somewhere. Oh, I'm just getting so much information from so many sources that okay, so yeah. Okay, so I'm getting this in, like, I'll delete this and this and deploy. Restart. You know what? You might have a point there. I'm just going to do Zigbee system MCL stop and start. Maybe there's something weird that's happened. Because, I really thought it's going to be fairly simple. Okay, let's try it again. Now I'm getting empties. Can I query it? I did a query. Can I query it successfully? Okay, now I can query it. I want to get this one right. Okay, that's gonna force the update every time, at least I hope so. It's on. Oh, including brightness boost just worked. I don't know if you will notice that, but I pressed it within 10 seconds and it finally worked. Oh god. Okay, so now if I press it, because it was after boost time, it should turn it off. Please. Oh, yes! Okay, so we're gonna do it with a single button again. So if we're gonna press it once, I should have it in a night mode. Is it? That was not the night mode on the second time. Okay, so let's see if this status changes. No, the status didn't change, no. Where did you get this update from here? Why did it change it to on? Off, off. No, the state's not updating again. Guys, I don't know. I think my Zigbee installation is broken because it makes no sense. I can't get an update from here. So, okay, now it triggers the update. So why cannot I update this every time? I'm sending it to get, yes. And I'm receiving this from here and sending this to... And I'm sending correct payload. See, I'm correct. 50%, right? Right now, if I press it, it's going to be bright. And it worked. Right now, because it's after 10 seconds, and I did the brightness increase when I press 1, it will basically turn it off. And that's how it's supposed to work. But now, I bet you I don't get an update. It says still on. It should not. I should get an update that tells me that I turned off the bulb. Okay, so what happens when increase the bulb value. So it hits this and sets the value, so it sets the state on, increases the value here, and returns the message. So it should return the message and update the state. So why I'm having such a hard time? Okay. What if I'm gonna push the state update after I'm pressing the button? So right now bulb is off, right? If I press it now, it should be on. I'm just gonna wait 10 seconds until the delay is over. So the bulb is on and it's a low brightness, which is correct. Now when I press it again, it increases the brightness because it was within 10 seconds. That's fine. Now 10 seconds has passed, so when I click it, it will turn it off. Now let's have a look at the state. It should say off, and it says on. By this time it should say off because the bulb went off and there was an update. Should be an update from here, right? I should have an update from here telling that the state went off and updating this. So what else sends this update? Because I don't. At this point, I'm honestly lost. Something updates it for me. It's nothing. I can delete this because we're not using this. Something makes an update for me, and I don't know what. This is very frustrating, guys. I don't know why this happens right now. That should just say the bulb to payload. That's all he has to do. Set the flow. It's message payload. And that's it. So what updates? This just gets the state information. It doesn't submit any state information here. You should, okay. Just to make sure I'm not submitting. Let's try it with this. So I need to wait 10 seconds. All right, go. Okay, now it doesn't work at all. But when I issue, this is the thing, when I issue state off, it updates correctly and it sets states off, right? Am I allowed to send a lowercase? Maybe that's the case. Maybe, but it was turning the values, so I don't see why it was the problem. Let's have a look if I have any lower cases here. I don't see lower cases, so that makes no sense. What else sets this? That's just a switch. This sets the press timer, that's fine. This sets the press timer, this sets the reset, and this is sets from reset. So what else sets this for me? It's just the one node that does this. There's nothing else. My God. Speaking of frustrating things. So if I press it now, it increases, that's fine. And it should tell on right now here, which it does. Now when I press it, it should turn it off. It does. I refresh it, it says off. Hold on a second, let's see after what happens after 10 seconds. Okay, now it says off and it stays there. I'll do it again. increase once, it's decreased because it's nice, that's alright. On and off are only lowercase for the switch. I don't use them lowercase anywhere else really, so that's fine. So I've pressed it and I'm just keeping it. It's still on, right? That's fine. It's been 10 seconds, so when I press again, it's dim setting, so it will turn it off, and it should have off. That's all right. So that's how it's supposed to work. Now, when I turn it on again, it should set it to on. That's fine. When I turn it on again, now it will increase the brightness. That's great. And it keeps it on, and when I press it again now, it should turn it off and set the global value to off. So now it's working. I haven't got a clue why. Maybe my Zigbee is being temperamental and the messages are not being delivered, but the logic is great for that. Now the only thing that we have to deal with is the ability to turn off the light bulb within 10 seconds. So the off doesn't bother us. There's a couple of ways of doing it. The easier way is just introduce a second output, and when we have a state off, now we just have to replace this one. Let's replace this, and we're gonna replace this with, and not this one, I'm going to replace this with an array message, and no. All instances, okay. Now, all on is going to go to 1, and all states. So that's okay, that's on. That's okay, that's on. That's going to be a message, and that's going to be null, because that's the off. Okay. And again as on, and we're going to send it to a second. So now there's a couple of things that we want to happen. We want this to go directly here, but also we want this to cancel our press timer. So this one says press timer to true. This one press timer to false. So we want to link this one and this one, and we want to also reset our to false. So this one to true. We're gonna link with this one, and that way we don't have to wait 10 seconds when we pressing off, right? I hope. So it works, and then I could turn it off, and the values should be applied already. Yeah, they're ready for the next round. See? Oh no, didn't. I've pressed it off, so it should set. Reset should be to true straight away, and press timer should be set to false straight away. It didn't it? Let's try it again. So I'm gonna press it once. Because I didn't. So that's true and false, false. Press it now. Now these values are not updating. They're all issued with why these values are not updating. So there is something broken with my NodeRED, I swear, guys, because when I press off, which is a second, right now second output from here, it should instantly reset flow, set reset flow to true, and press timer to false, which is this one, yes. So it should do that instantly, and then even if there is a delay, 10 seconds delay, what should happen is we'll send this message in here and set it again to false anyway. So why it's not working? It's like, honestly guys, I have something seriously broken with my installation, because it should not behave this way. It has, like, take a look at this. Let's investigate if I'm going to get messages in here. So this is my off. And when I get this off trigger, I should get those two values set. So, oh, there was a mistake. Maybe that's why. Let's see. Oh, that's why. Message 1's not defined, but that's in here. Okay. I knew that's going to be a problem. So let's quickly fix this. Var message 1, and that's going to be equals. Like this. And I need to close this. Oh, why? Okay, but that shouldn't really bother me. Okay, so again, if I now I'm gonna press off because it's ready to be off. Did I have off? No, nothing hit my second array. Okay, let's have a look. So it's nighttime and the press timer was true. So first time it's here, it goes to the first one and it disables in here, and then the second one in the bulb state is on. State should be set to off, and I'm sending a message to second output, which is here, null, and then second output, right? And it sends definitely because it sends it, or does it send it through first one? It's like there's nothing coming out from the second function node. I've spelled it correctly. Like I mean, I'm not being, like, this is the thing, right? So this is how you send it. Output 1, and then you define way. Output 3, you define it, and 3. Output 1 and 3, you define it this way. And this is the case, right? Our night is true, right? We have our night is set to true. Our press timer was false, so we are here. And then our bulb state was on, because we're turning it off. So we're setting this, and then we're returning via second output. So it should, by default, it should hit this, trigger this node, because we're returning it through second output. And it does not. Dobry wieczór, Michał. I'm honestly, this, you know what? NodeRED restart. I'm restarting NodeRED. This is a bug. Because it's impossible right now that's this happening. Because after this, I'm hitting number 1, yes. And like this is, at this point, this is not needed really, but it doesn't matter. And we have again, we have a night, which is true, and the press timer is false. So this is the 3 we're hitting. Then we have a bulb state which was on. We were on, so the bulb state was on, which you can see in here. Previously was on because we were turning it off, and we are sending a state off to turn the bulb off, and then we return this via second output, and we're not hitting this node. Okay. NodeRED is working. So let's try this again, right? So let's turn it on. I'm gonna wait now. I don't have to wait because I fixed it. So I've turned it off. True, true, false. And it's again. Did it hit? Let's see, off. It should be small bulb, small bulb. No, it did not go through this one. this is just pops. Okay. Okay. No, this is inside the action off, so it shouldn't trigger at all. That's why. We were returning its first one as well. I bet that was this one. So let's try it again. So it's all nice. We're gonna close it before the 10. No, I've not closed it. Sorry, I've pressed the wrong button. Okay, so that's fine. And now it's press timer false. I should have it via second without. So action off. We need to figure out action off now, and we solved it. So action off, if bulb state is off, then we sending this, right? And we want to return this via second option, and this one via first option. No, actually no, we agreed that we're not going to be using, so just like this. Okay. And final test. So if I'm gonna hit this one, we'll have low value and I can cancel it straight away, and I should have my settings in here not changed. So true, false, true, and now true, false, true. Okay, fixed. Okay, it's working now. So yeah, so how it works right now, it's nighttime, so I don't get full brightness. If I want to have full brightness, I have to click on again, and then if I want to cancel it, just cancel at the bottom, and that's it, that's done. And if I want to start the loop again, I can start straight away, and again I can increase the brightness if I want to, and cancel it at any time. Yes! And you can do it with a single button, like I said. Now, if you wanted to, you could have off button also mapped to the first button. So all you have to do is just include the last condition. I have two buttons and I'm not using bright up and bright down yet, but you could do that. Now, if you wanted to start applying brightness after a delay, I can't do it on the live stream anymore because it's been 2 hours, guys, and I have a couple of things to do before bedtime. But yeah, I'm gonna probably spend some time tomorrow and try to figure out the time loop for this, and have it so after like 2 minutes it will gradually increase the brightness until 100%, and then if you reset it, then it will reset to nighttime or whatever. So you could have this functionality when you hit on it, it's just, you know, I have a 50 brightness right now. If you hit it within 10 seconds, you have brightness, full brightness, and then you can cancel it with a button. Now, this will work with a single button. I have two buttons in here, so you don't have to have it. It will work with a single button as well. The only difference is that you'll have to do just slot this one somewhere in here. And in the daytime, obviously, it will, if we're going to, let's see if the daytime is working. So I'm just setting a night to false, and I'll have a full brightness right now. That's a full brightness, and there you have it. And if I'm gonna turn it to night, I have a low brightness right now. Hey! Yes! Yes! Okay. So yeah, definitely, like, I know it's probably frustrating to watch this one, but you will see how much work it goes into those tutorials as well. So what's gonna happen next? Obviously, this is a little bit messy. I'll clean it up and prepare a proper tutorial, so and you'll be able to download everything in there from the next write-up. So that's what's gonna happen. As yeah, for now, guys, probably just gonna leave you be with these. I like these live sessions because it's like it's fun for me. I don't know if you guys enjoying it, but if you learn anything. But yeah, it kind of lets you. It shows you that it's the amount of mistakes a person have to go through to kind of figure out. Obviously, they will depend on your skill and how good you are at that stuff. But yeah, everyone struggles sometimes, and I never pretended to be excellent in programming. But NodeRED is flexible, and you can. This is where I really like it over Home Assistant, because you can't do stuff like that in Home Assistant. I know it's challenging and it's more difficult, but you can't. And that's the fun of it, because I will be able to now tweak this and add extra features on top of it and map it to a single button. And yeah, good luck doing that with Home Assistant, guys. So yeah, and the fun bit is later on you will be able to push all of the bulbs through similar flows, and then you have all the bulbs acting the same way, because they can just use the night information as a global, and you can have that in different flows and pull that information from it. So there we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to implement the night time a little bit better. I'll read about over the midnight timers how to implement it better, and so you can specify your own times for the night time. So it's going to be a much nicer implementation, and hopefully it's going to work. I need to think about that midnight crossover date, because it's a pain in the neck. I've dealt with it in the past, and I know it's a pain in the neck. Or you could also have another thing that you're going to use information from like a lux timer. So for example, I have on my dashboard, I have what is it called? Shelly motion, which is not reporting right now because I restarted. Why it's not reporting? It should be reporting. Interesting. Should be reporting on the. Did I actually run out of battery? I think I ran out of battery, guys, because it's not doing anything. Oh wow, okay. That's why it's not reporting. But anyway, I had the lux values from a Shelly, and I was able. You could use the lux values to set the brightness of the light bulbs itself, and you could use the luminosity to offset that as well. So that could happen automatically instead of dry. You could have like medium values. So in the evening, you would have like let's say, when the values are near the sunsets and when the lux levels are still high, you could set the value of the lights to be at 100%, and once that drops to complete darkness, then you can set them at like 75, and then have additional profile at, for example, midnight to 6 o'clock to have it 25. So it's plenty of different ways to approach this, and yeah, that's what you can do with NodeRED, and that's why it's, for me, it's fun. Like some people think it's hard work, but for me, it's fun. And one of the things, I don't know if you followed me, but one of the things I did, I really gonna like using this. It's a charging. Okay, oh, I've restarted this. Let's see if it works. Charging profiles. I can compare different chargers I've got. So this one's going to take forever. So you can see this one took 3 hours. This was like 4 hours to charge it. And yeah, I can do various stuff and compare which are the best chargers and see the charging profiles, how quickly they load the battery, etc. But why my table isn't populated? Let's fix that. That's probably because of the restart. Where's it? Charger test in here. Can I? Can I have it here? No. Why am I? Interesting that my table didn't update. Where I can push the update for the table. Table goes from here. So the update only happens from the table when I do the table format, which happens selected remove records. Okay, so I can remove one record that will update it. So let's see, what can I remove? I can remove this one because this is a bit rubbish. So let's remove this record, and I have all the information here in the table of what charges I've been using, the battery capacity on my phone, charge time and charge score, and then I can compare all of the charges together if I wanted to. So let's set them to the added to charge, and you can see that the Anker USB Type-C was the quickest one, and those are the charge profiles, how I was charging it. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff to test the charges. If I want to send like just compared to like an O1, I can just do that. It's a fun little thing. All right. Anyway, that's on my website. If you're interested, I'll send you a link as well, which is Tasker. It's this one. It's updated. So if you want to have something like that, it's here. Right. I'll leave you be, guys. Thanks so much for joining me and keeping my company. And for now, we're just gonna, finish up my work, eat something, and jump into bed because I go work in the morning, 6 o'clock. Soon's gonna be fun. Oh, like soon's gonna be a review because that's why I was doing this, because soon's gonna be a review for this, and this is cool because this is a battery. So yeah, I hope you look forward to it because it's quite cool. And I've got a smart lock coming up, so expect some smart doors. Alright guys, thanks so much for your company. Long time viewer, first time chatter. Thank you, Vernon, I appreciated joining in. So thanks for Ricardo, Antonio, Rocha, Mark, M-Haka, sorry, Paulson, Matthew, Nikolai, Jerry, Michal, Nate, Chris, Mayongas, Aldo, Hafgenside. Yeah, that's all I think. Gabriel, I've missed a Gabriel. Okay, so thanks to all of you for joining me. It's really nice to have a company, and I appreciate all your pointers on the chat as well. I've been reading them even if I didn't say that out loud. All right, guys. Home time for me. Home time, bedtime for me. Take care and have a lovely night, guys. Bye-bye.